Welcome, Dolphins fans, haters, and everyone in between to your favorite show discussing the greatest franchise in sports, the Miami Dolphins. This is the PhinsPod. My name is Moose, your host, and opportunity lies ahead. Recent developments have made the Dolphins' upcoming game against the Saints a lot simpler. Today, we're going to look at this team and try to determine if there's even any reason to hope for a miracle, because at this point, with a record of 7-7, all bets are off. It's a brand new season. Not only were the Dolphins not expected to climb out of a 1-7 hole, but to even consider the idea that they could rattle off 9 straight wins and make the playoffs, that is what's on the table right now, and that is what we're going to discuss. So strap up and let's dive in. As things currently stand, Miami is outside looking in when it comes to the playoff picture. However, that should change, and if the Dolphins do end up winning out, the likelihood of postseason play is high. But here's the thing, a 9-game win streak resulting in a playoff berth is really unlikely. And yeah, Miami's 2/3 of the way there, but a whole third left to go is still a ways to go. So who are these opponents, and how does Miami match up with each of them? First, we got the New Orleans Saints, and the Phins have a huge opportunity to regain respect in the national scope by advancing to 8-7, a winning record and a primetime national TV win. It's also a huge opportunity for Tua Tagovailoa as well, and the way things are looking, I think we may be in for a surprise. Most people, as Dolphins fans, have an innate expectation of extreme disappointment. The Dolphins losing at this point in the season after getting our hopes up, it would be crushing. And that's exactly why a large portion of you are not expecting anything. But let's be honest. If you don't think that we have a shot of pulling this thing off, then you probably wouldn't be listening to the PhinsPod right now. The Saints have been hit with some unfortunate developments, already down a starting quarterback in Jameis Winston, and who would have thought Jameis Winston was going to be the best of them? Their second and third string options, Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian, have been placed on the reserve list, so they're likely out for the game. In their place, rookie quarterback out of Notre Dame, Ian Book, someone that Brian Flores did coach at the Senior Bowl, will be stepping up. I'm going to be honest with you, I would have rather played Taysom Hill. I think Miami could have easily contained Hill, but with Book, a rookie, you don't always know what you're going to get, both in terms of skill set and how it translates to the NFL game. There's no film. As more importantly, what the offensive game plan could be too with a rookie. Again, there's no film. It's a more equalizing factor than some people may think. But regardless, he is a rookie. And based on what we know of this defense, they should eat him alive. Let's be honest. During this streak, the Dolphins' defense has been incredibly solid. The pass rush has been present consistently with Emmanuel Ogbah, Phillips, and even a little Van Ginkel, who's come on in the second half of the year. The interior, get and push, and the return of Raekwon Davis has been huge in stopping the run when faced against Alvin Kamara is essentially the main point of what the defense is trying to do. Zach Sealer and Christian Wilkins, they've been stout as well, and they're getting pressure with organic stunts and twists, something that we weren't able to do early on, and we could only manufacture any pressure with blitzes. But now, because of the way that the defensive line has been playing in sync, understanding assignments, we're seeing 4-man rushes getting to the quarterback. And on the back end of the unit, there are studs. We know this. This shouldn't be a surprise. We're paying them that much. Byron Jones, he's been giving us a solid year, and truthfully, his play has really picked up during the win streak. Again, not really surprising when you consider the whole team has been playing better. Something has obviously clicked. Coverage has been tight. Xavier Howard, our only Pro Bowler, he locks it down. And then the combination of Javon Holland, who has been activated off the reserve list, and he's back to continue his stellar rookie campaign. Landon Roberts, Jerome Baker, Brandon Jones, Nick Needham, and even Justin Coleman, all serviceable role players, some obviously better than others with more upside, but overall, with the way that this unit has been playing as of late during the streak, combined with the underrated play calling of Brian Flores, the scheming and preparation that goes into each defensive matchup, Miami has the advantage in this game. With Javon Holland back, as well as a healthy Brandon Jones, expect the Blitz brothers to return and Miami to go with a game plan much more similar to Baltimore. Look, Ian Book is an athletic guy, and he's prone to pull the ball and run. He's not as pure of a pocket passer as a lot of other young quarterbacks. Compared to Taysom Hill, he is more of a pocket passer. But if Miami's able to get to him, make him uncomfortable, then you can start to see a poor rookie devolve against a rabid defense. Send the house. Remember Baltimore. Continue to attack the Saints and be sure to always have an answer for Alvin Kamara, their main weapon. Again, he's their true single offensive weapon right now because of all their injuries. The receivers are not that talented, and if Brian Flores is able to create a plan to bottle Kamara up, or at least contain him somewhat, then the Dolphins can really limit the Saints' scoring potential. Think of what we were able to do with Christian McCaffrey against the Panthers. And just like Cam Newton not being a good quarterback, Ian Book not an experienced quarterback. Ultimately, the Dolphins should be forcing Book to make NFL caliber throws over and over again. And if he's able to do it with some consistency, putting together drives, making good decisions as a rookie in his first start, change your approach. Give the offense more respect if he proves that he can do that. But to start it off, I hope Miami plays aggressive, flying to the ball, playing up on the line with the amoeba front used often to confuse the rookie. And yeah, the Jets did put up 24 points, something I've been hearing a lot of. Well, obviously the Dolphins are kind of a fluky team. They haven't played anyone impressive. The Jets put up 24 points. But considering the pick six and the clear struggles that the defense had early in the game, I think reason for optimism is in order. There was obviously rust. The tackling early on was putrid. Guys were reaching, trying to tackle with their arms, or just throwing their bodies half-heartedly, hoping to knock guys over, but obviously they would just bounce off and keep going. The bye week played a role. Eventually, though, the guys got their ish together. They shut Zach Wilson and the Jets offense out for pretty much the entire second half, and Miami was able to put enough points on the board to come out with the win. So I don't expect the Saints to get over maybe 15, 13 points. Anything different than that should mean that something went wrong. Offensively, the Dolphins are also primed for a big game. Maybe that's a hot take, but just look at the tea leaves. Tua came out rusty, but put things together and started looking like the guy that we had during this streak. Efficient, accurate, and effective. The Saints are likely going to be without their safety and leader of the defense, Malcolm Jenkins, who was also put on the reserve list, and he's the heart and soul of their secondary. And his absence is a big deal for our weapons. There's a trickle-down effect that's going to take place when you lose a top-end cover guy in the back end. It allows guys to get open at a far higher rate than if Malcolm was playing, because now the third receiver isn't really playing against the third corner or the third safety. He's playing against the fourth guy, and that just trickles down and helps everyone play against lighter competition, at least on our end. For Miami, Jalen Waddle returns as well, so Tua safety blanket will be back and helping the offense move the ball downfield, something that early on in the Jets game seemed difficult. But the real X factor is Duke Johnson and Phillip Lindsay. Both guys, in the carries that they've been given, have shown tough running and, frankly, more explosive play than what we've gotten from Myles Gaskin. If Miami is able to get a little push against this tough Saints front, then we're looking at a completely different offense. I mean that. Finally, the field is going to have a healthy Devontae Parker on the outside. His chemistry with Tua has been illustrated time and time again. It's really good. And Parker is clearly one of the few guys that Tua trusts the ball with deeper down the field. He's a major asset and helps stretch the defense. So you got a healthy Devontae, plus Jalen Waddle's back in the fold, combined with Mike Gesicki. Now the middle of the field is open for business. As long as the line continues this below average to mediocre play that we've been seeing recently, a step up from just straight up painful like the first few quarters of the season, the offense has a shot to put up points. Most people are expecting a tight game. And look, I could be totally wrong. And that is what we generally see, a tight game. The Saints defense holds Miami down the way that they held Tom Brady and the Bucs down. Tua plays inconsistent against this coverage. No one is getting open, and Dennis Allen's unit locks our guys up. No one knows. That could happen. But based on the trajectory of this season, the ability for Miami to get a bit of a wake-up call but still manage the win against the Jets, I think they're going to be ready to play. I mean, Just think about their last primetime game. It was the Ravens. It was their welcome back moment. Now, they can use this primetime opportunity under the brightest lights on Monday night to have their "we've arrived" moment. Miami 27, Saints 12. Who knows? If not, then I've clearly been overrating the talent, drinking the Kool-Aid, and overrating the coaching of this team. But if everything goes the way I think, then at 8-7, Miami would have what I think is their toughest challenge to close out the season, traveling up to Nashville to play Ryan Tannehill and the Titans. These days, it can be hard to find and hire the right candidates for your small business. That's why LinkedIn Jobs made it easier to find the people that you want to talk to faster and for free. Because I know when I'm looking to find a new job, build a career, or network with others in my field, I turn to LinkedIn. And as a potential employer or employee, you can too. Because you can create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. Focus on the candidates with just the right skills and overall experience, and use screening questions to get your role in front of only those who are most qualified. Then, use the simple tools on LinkedIn Jobs to quickly filter and prioritize who you want to interview and eventually hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs number one in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? 40 million. Post your job for free using our code at linkedin.com/Phins. That's linkedin.com/PHINS. Phins to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. They're a physical team, but their defense is susceptible. You saw that against the 49ers. If they have Derrick Henry, then the game will be a different conversation entirely. Without him, just led by Ryan Tannehill, I think we'll be able to manage. And why would I be so confident? You forget, Brian Flores spent his time on the defensive staff preparing and game planning for Ryan Tannehill extensively for years, twice a season while he was on the Dolphins. He knows him. And truthfully, in most of the matchups against the Patriots, he would struggle. Tannehill would not play well, and our wins that we managed to mix in against the Pats would usually include a pretty solid run game, whether it be no Sean Moreno, Jay Ajayi, and turnovers forced from Tom Brady as well. We managed to make Tom Brady look bad when he was in his younger prime, and he rarely would carry the load. Tannehill would occasionally have a good game, but other times, when we lost, the games that everyone manages to forget in the Tannehill era, he would crap the bed. We'd get blown out or shut out. So you know that Brian Flores knows him well. And I believe that we have the better quarterback in this game. But we'll get into that matchup when and if we get there. But if Miami manages to pull that off, suddenly history really is in our grasp. 9-7. With the added game, Week 18 of the NFL season, Miami comes home to face, in my opinion, their most hated rival. For me, that's the Pats. I would get no more pleasure than knocking their smug asses out of the playoffs. Holy hell, that would be the best thing that could ever happen. But anyway, back to reality and the current moment of 7-7. If Miami takes care of New Orleans and Tennessee, then they have the opportunity to claim some ownership of the AFC East. That's a big deal. When Brady left, the division became a lot cloudier. You had a few teams trying to climb over themselves to relevance, the Bills and us. The Jets continue to suck, and then New England. A great coach, but suddenly missing the piece that made them go on the football field. The division open to whichever franchise steps up first. And the Bills seem to be that team. Josh Allen was playing well, but now we're seeing maybe they're a lot closer to pretty good than elite, like many people thought at the start of this season. The Patriots suddenly look like they could be back, but truthfully, they don't really scare me. Because I believe if both teams play at their best, the Patriots and the Dolphins both give their best performance, the Dolphins win. We have more talent. What the Patriots have is coaching. The likelihood that they play a relatively mistake-free game is higher than it is for Miami, and that's the problem. But if you try to imagine that hypothetical moment in time, the Dolphins would be on an 8-game win streak when they face each other, the hottest team in the league by far. If they win, they're likely in. We play at home against a rookie quarterback for the second time. I think our defense would be ready to play, and so would theirs. But again, we have the better quarterback. That's what we've been looking for. And that's why I think there's a reason to hope for this magical run here in the holiday season. We said it in the offseason. Why not us? Our quarterback has been written off time and time again, and despite that noise, he continues to come back and just ball. Our defense is playing at a high level, and the standout play from Javon Holland, it's something to behold. He's not just a good rookie. He's proven to be a top-flight safety right now. Like right now, most teams would take him. He would be an upgrade for them. His return is going to help this defense play even more in sync and shut opposing offenses down. If Miami gets a half-decent run game out of nowhere, led by veterans Duke Johnson and Phillip Lindsay, that would change things for the better as well. All of a sudden, on offense, the RPOs become more potent. Tua can actually take shots with play-action fakes that make defenders bite, and they'll be able to control time of possession, help their defense out, play with a lead. It's in them. They've shown that they have the potential to put these games together. The only question is whether they can become that team right now when it matters the most. They could just as likely crumble, the lights could be too bright, and the Saints could just kick us in the mouth. Tua could disappoint, and we could be having a whole different conversation come Tuesday morning. Here's the thing. Do you really think that's going to happen, though? Let us know in the comments below, because now we'll get to the Tennessee and New England games when we get there, and there'll still be plenty more of the PhinsPod, so be sure to subscribe. We are right around 5,000 subscribers, and I just want to say thank you all so much. It's amazing that something that we started as a way to connect with other Dolphins fans and talk about this team together, it's grown into an awesome community. I cannot wait to keep growing with you all, as well as to see what higher points we can reach together, because just like this team, the PhinsPod is just getting started. We're on the come up. And I want to thank each and every one of you so much for being part of the ride, whether you've been a listener since the early days or you've just started tuning in, or hell, this is your first listen. Thank you so much. Love y'all, and Phins forever up.
If you're wondering to see if the Dolphins can keep the win streak going, why not? You'll see them on ESPN's Monday Night Football. They're playing at New Orleans, and right now with the Saints quarterback situation is what it is. We'll see what they do tonight against Tom Brady and Tampa, but Miami and New Orleans, a great opportunity to keep that winning streak moving and move ahead to 500. It's time for the guys' final takeaways, and Dame, I know you actually want to hone in on those fantastic Phins.
I do. That's my takeaway, from week 15 is the fact that here you are, the Miami Dolphins, you're 1-7. It's easy to fold up shop at that point in the season, but kudos to Brian Flores and company keeping those guys engaged. Those guys kept fighting, and they've reeled off 6 wins in a row, and now they find themselves right in the thick of the playoff race. Man, that is so huge. People don't understand what it takes to claw your way back into a playoff race like that after going 1-7. Kudos to the Miami Dolphins.
That's going to do it for us here today. Thank you guys so much for listening to the PhinsPod. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, as always, to Timothy Ritchie, Brian Guger, and Chris, members of the pod and supporters of the show over on Patreon. Check that out. Links in the description, or head to patreon.com/PhinsPod. Thank you all again for the continued support, and please remember to like the video if you enjoyed the show, subscribe just so you never miss a chance to chat about your Miami Dolphins. Remember that the show is available on all platforms, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, and of course, YouTube. If you are a Spotify listener, they've recently added ratings, so we greatly appreciate a review. It helps the show out a lot, as well as helps others find the show. Continue the conversation with us over on Twitter and Instagram, @PhinsPod. I hope you all have an amazing Christmas Eve and a Merry, Merry Christmas. And until next time, stay safe. Love y'all.